clay, step on it, it's dried up. You're gonna give it that thin layer of water. Take your clay and hold it along in the center, and go up a bit. Ooh, bad chuck. And try to chuck it in the middle. If it doesn't, then you just gotta wiggle it, shift it towards the center. If you have a kind of like lump like that, kind of tap it, pat it in to make this mound as nice of a kind of sphere as you possibly could. And you're gonna set the wheel, seal. So you're using your middle finger, your longest finger, that could be your first finger, to seal the clay on. Set the wheel to medium. You can go all the way, but that to me is too fast. So I pull back a little bit, and then take your foot off. Don't leave your foot on the wheel. You need it to have a consistent speed. And if you're driving, like you're in a car, and your body's gonna be moving around like that passenger that is gonna get car sick. So your clay needs to stay the same consistent speed the whole time. Unless you need to stop the wheel for any reason. And whenever you're putting your hands on or off or starting or stopping the clay, you need to move slow, no rapid, or you're gonna throw it off center. So you need to be gentle and slow. So the first thing you're gonna need to do is center the clay. And that's gonna require you to get this piece of clay to glide through your hands without you moving. So if you're still moving, it's not centered yet. I like to get my legs up on the stool and connect my elbows to my knees, my forearm to my knees. You can even take your elbow and lock it against your thigh. But I like to take my hands and make a butterfly, connect these two bones, keep this flat against the wheel, and you are gonna hold in place and push directly away from you. Having your arm locked helps you not move as much, right? Try not to add more water until you can't stand it. And you're gonna center until it is not moving you around. Something else that you'll do is you'll cone. So you'll take your little claws and you'll kind of push them together while compressing. And this is going to lift your clay up into a cone. You might get some clay coming off. So you're going to cone up by pinching and pushing together as you glide up, like that. And then you're going to push the top away from you and it'll go back down into the puck. So you're going to need to do that a couple times. And this is kind of like kneading bread. You're bringing it up. And you're pushing it back down. So that is opening, or it's centering, sorry. That is centering and coning. See how it's not really moving me? Then you are not going to start to open your container until it's centered and you have a puck. So you want your clay to kind of look like a tuna can or a hockey puck before you get started. As wide as your puck is as wide as your vessel is going to be. That's going to be the bottom, and it's going to go up from there or out from there. So if it's narrow, then you can't make something wide or it'll flop. If it's too wide, you're not going to get something skinny. So make your tuna can or your puck roughly the size of how large you want what you are making to be. Do not consider making something too large today or soon, because that has a whole different set of physics that goes along with it. So try to stick within like a little cup or a bowl kind of range. Maybe you get a wide plate. So you have your puck. Now that it's not moving you and it's in the shape, you may open. So with your finger, you're going to find the middle where it's not moving you around, and you can use another finger to kind of help push use your thumb. And you're gonna push down into your cup or bowl. You can even start to spread the fingers to kind of open it. Something I also was saying was to put them down and then curve them under. And that is allowing this hand to have somewhere to hook in to eventually pull the wall up. So something you need to do at this stage before you pull the walls up at all is to take a sponge with no water, wring it out, and just press into the bottom of your bowl or cup. This is called compressing. And you are basically taking all those particles and compressing them. You're condensing them into this dense piece of clay at the base of your cup, which is good because when you set a cup or a bowl down, you don't want it to break. So we're compressing all that clay into a really dense piece at the bottom. So use your sponge to press. Now you're going to take this finger, and you're going to give yourself a groove here in the bottom where your finger can stick in, and you should have, from curving your fingers under, a groove in the inside where your finger can rest. So if it's feeling wobbly at all, you just have to do this carefully. You're going to put one finger here in here, lock your elbows in, keep them close so that you are stable, and press those two fingers toward each other. You're not actually like pulling it up. You're not actually forcing it to go up. You're pinching the clay, and by bringing these two fingers together, it will naturally make the clay go up. So all you are doing, you are not actually forcing the clay up. You are just pushing it together, and as you push it together, it'll naturally raise, and you're going to follow that rising with your fingers. So you're not lifting, you're guiding, and you're following. Some potters say that the most times you can pull is 3. So if you're finding that you're pulling like 4 or 5 times to get a vessel, then you might be doing something wrong with the centering. And so you might need to go back and kind of practice that more. So that was one pull. We're going to do another. And then you see what I'm doing here? This is called compressing the lip. So again, the lip of a cup where you drink from or where you rest your spoon is could be a very fragile place if it's not strong. So we compress. I kind of hold the lip in place, and then I use one finger to press down, and then that's condensing the clay at the lip to make it stronger. Another thing you can do is, if you don't like pulling from this area, is you can pull from the 12 o'clock. The top 12 o'clock of your circle. If you're thinking of it like a clock, you can kind of pull from here and go up. So you just kind of pinch and it will come up. Something you could try. At this stage, I kind of want to show a little bit of how the rib could be used in your pulling or in shaping. So you can always use this wooden rib to remove clay off of the base of your vessel. You can also use it to, as you are pulling, guide and encourage a straight wall. I kind of messed up, it got a little off center, so we'll see. If I can encourage it to go back. Gently. Alrighty. I might try for one more pull. Alrighty. So I think this is nice, and I think I'm going to stop here, or it might topple or warp, because you can see it's not perfectly centered anymore. So now here, what I could maybe do is go into the inside of my cup, the bowl, and kind of smooth and compress a little further. I can do a little bit of smoothing, but really not much. This is off-center now a lot. So later, we'll take this and it'll dry out a bit. We'll flip it over and we'll trim the bottom up to look a little bit nicer and more round. Something nice that we like. But for now, we're gonna slow this down. We're gonna take our wire. If you pull towards yourself, you may splash. If you cut away, you'll be pretty good. Another trick is to put some water around it before you do that. That way you'll be bringing water under it. And you can kind of roll it off and towards yourself. Okay, and then you'll set that on a wear board. You'll come back to it later when it's dry. Cool.